everyone, and welcome to EPL Across the Pond and Rival Bros, our weekly show where I, Timucin, represent Liverpool over here. Black sheep of the family, Edip is here as always, representing United. We'll take a look at our teams. We'll take a look at the Premier League and our bets and guesses for the upsets. It was not a good week in every freaking which way, unfortunately. Let's start with our teams first. You guys played first, I believe, right? So we'll start with you guys. The Villa game, where that was my upset pick, almost came about, but I think we talked about this before, where we said, how will United not playing anything else but Premier League help them? I think it was one of those cases where Villa can keep up with multiple battlegrounds and United can focus on one game at a time. And basically Villa fell off. They were really, really poor that game.
I have to say, I told you so. In a couple of points, one of them was Villa when they were really comfortable on the third. I told you they are going to come down, and they are really bad at the moment. They can't
Yeah.
get their stuff together, and even then they they couldn't hold on to it. But I don't think they could. I mean, if we watched the game, if I watched the game, not as a United fan and as a neutral, I would probably say, because when I was revisiting the highlights, I was seeing, yeah, I mean, United was going to get that game. If I was neutral, I would be comfortable. They're going to score again. But it was like obviously touch and go sort of thing. If it's 1-1, then it could go anywhere. I mean, Villa could sort of get
Yeah.
things going again. But as you say, the European parts and they know they are going to. First of all, the Europe. The second one is for weeks now, for about a month now or 6 weeks. They are falling behind, and these guys are catching up. The
Yeah.
Liverpool, the Chelseas, and the United, and we caught up with them, and we surpassed them. So that's number one. Number two, we were discussing this as well. The opposite side of things, where United will not be playing the whole week, will not be
Yeah.
taking focus off. I think the Champions League spot actually holds the focus there, and that's a
Oh,
big
okay.
thing. And
Oh, it's
even
about them
then,
being like eighth or something like that. But I think
yeah,
the worry was, I think with the squad, I mean, it's a bit easier to manage a larger squad, which, you guys didn't add anything in January for the most part. So, like, nothing
no,
to add there, actually subtracted, I think, too. But it's a bit easier to maintain a larger squad, keep people happy if you can sprinkle a couple of like FA Cup games and like,
that's
oh, you
correct.
started them in Champions League last Tuesday, kind of a deal and stuff. Whereas when you're playing once a week and you're trying to establish a starting 11 with minimal rotation and stuff, you can have a bit more disgruntled people saying, when am I ever gonna get an
That is
opportunity,
correct.
kind of a deal. They did not go into that.
I'll just break for a second because the doorbell is going.
Oh, answer the door. To whom the bells ring. Well, while he's away, let's get Liverpool out of the way over here, because obviously that was disappointing. I don't know if he got to watch it, so we'll ask him a little bit when he gets back. But obviously we're doing this live on a different time, by the way. Our regular schedule time is usually late night on Tuesday nights. With a lot of festivities going on, obviously St. Patrick's Day and stuff, and his actually morning over there. We're doing it a lot earlier this week than normal. But going back to Liverpool, yeah, that is like beyond disappointing. It seems like it's the same script all the time. If you want to hear me more talk about Liverpool and ramble on about the disappointments and where my anger goes to and stuff, definitely follow our sister channel on like American Scouts or TV. Because yeah, I vent a lot more over there than my rare weekly opportunity over here. But I think overall, it's just seeing the same thing over and over again against like a Spurs team that was. Or, I mean, yeah, they're fighting relegation and stuff, but with the people they're missing, they're there for the taking. You just can't finish for some reason, even though you created chances in the first half. And then, unfortunately, this is probably like the maddest I've been at the end of a game, because we all know the scripts, and it was like watching a shitty movie that you knew what the ending was going to be. It was like it's the fucking butler again. Because so like basically it happened at the end, and you knew it was coming. And I think that's why I was more angry than anything else, because I knew that was going to happen at the end. And that's probably the most disappointing part, how fragile this team is. You can see them start to worry as we come into the last 15 minutes and stuff. They're like, I hope it doesn't happen again, kind of a deal. But yeah, I mean, so many people to point finger at. Slots obviously will get a part of the blame. I think the squads overall, especially some of the players and how the people you rely on are kind of like failing you, it feels like. And I think that's like probably the biggest disappointment. And we'll see what happens tomorrow against Galatasaray. It's kind of like really season defining in the aspect of, you know, what we're going to have to suffer through for the next 2 months, because nothing is going to suddenly change. My only hope is, given the talents and kind of like what you're saying, oddly, like that's their motivation as Champions League and going there next year. This could be their motivation, as they know this is the last thing they got going. I know we have the FA Cup, but now we have City away is the draw you have over there. So it's not like, oh, you know, like we're going to cruise to the semis or anything. So this is the last thing on their plate. So in some ways, I'm hoping for a reaction. You listen to Szoboszlai after the game. Like, everybody's frustrated. It's concerning where they don't know what the problem is. They can't put a finger on it. And it's one of those things where if you start winning, it feels like it'll go away, but you can never get there. So it's kind of like a rut, one good, one bad and stuff. I don't know. Did you get to watch the game?
Yes, some of it. To be honest, I couldn't see the good parts. I couldn't.
Well, the first half was especially the best.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like, because last week I told you it's a 3-0 game, and you said it's 3-1. I can see us winning without conceding a goal, and it looked like that. To be honest, I mean, if you get sort of, you know, score, you could easily have gone away with a comfortable score there. But I think when this Turkish saying we have had before, and you did translate it rather good, I have to say.
Which one is this?
Ters gitmesin işi muhallebi yerken.
Yes, the breaking the tooth eating pudding one. Yes,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't go right, who would you put the blame on this one, especially?
On this one is the players. I'm sorry, but you cannot put this on the manager at all. I think you look on paper, it can't go any better. I think you played pretty decent in the first half. You create a bunch of chances. And I don't understand what the alternative, like, people want is. Everybody complains, but they can't come up with an alternative solution. So they're there to complain. I mean, we have a bunch of people on Discord channel. I don't think people ever freaking listen to a pre-match and a post-match press conference are now listening to it so they can nitpick what Slot is saying and trying to find like secret meanings behind the words and how many times they said it. The only reason you don't freaking know how many times Klopp said the same thing is you didn't give a fuck then and you weren't watching the pre-match and post-match things. There's a lot of this is manager talk. And, you know, Klopp will repeat the same things over and over again, but some of these people did not watch the pre-matches at the time unless there was a funny moment they saw the clip of, because, you know, Klopp was a character. So now they're listening to stuff and just to nitpick and just to criticize. That's the only reason they're listening. They're not listening for answers even. They're just looking to see if they can hear what they want to hear. That's probably the biggest disappointment I have, is in terms of like fans and how they kind of support the team now. I see way too many people happy about poor results, which I find really disgusting, whether you like the manager or not. But I do put this game on players, because I felt like, especially as we did the substitutions, the guys who came in like Ekitike, Mo and stuff gave you like absolutely nothing. And a lot of it is confidence, probably, because there are so many moments in that game. It becomes a basketball match, which doesn't suit us anymore. Everybody's like, oh, this suits us. This used to suit us. It doesn't suit us anymore, because the front three has not played together. Before, you know, everybody knew where their one was going to be. There was some kind of like synergy. It doesn't suit us now, because our midfield was 10 times better than their midfield. So we needed to stay in the middle. That was the whole point. So
Yeah.
once they start bouncing around, it kind of helps Spurs because they don't have a midfield anyway. And when you catch them, I think we caught them 3-on-2, 3v3, 4v3.
Yeah.
You just can't capitalize on it, so it doesn't help you. I mean, it only helps you when you catch them in numbers. You kind of can put the ball in the back of the net. The biggest issue is, and that's why I worry about tomorrow, because I do think Galatasaray gets one on the counter against this defense.
Yeah, I would think
Easily.
so too.
And I don't know if this team has 3 goals in them, unless we score early. That's the only way I can see. The fact that there are no away fans oddly helps in some ways. Because we
Yeah,
saw what Fenerbahce fans did at Forest.
of course, but the thing is, I think Juve had a similar. Well, but they had a worse case scenario. It was 2-5. So and they scored early, but then they were down to 10 men. Even with 10 men, they actually brought it to 3.
Yeah.
If it wasn't 5-2, if it was your sort of result, like a 1-0 or something like that, I think you would cruise over there.
Do you think so? Because how
yeah.
much of that is because Godsight went out there saying we just don't have to lose by 3, as opposed to we can't afford to lose. They just went out there as long as we don't get smashed, we're good.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure because of the atmosphere, the panic sets in. I don't think that's a comfort zone sort of thing, because I'm sure they actually told each other, and the gaffer told them, well, this is Juventus. Yes, you scored 5, but that's 1 in a million sort of game that sort of we caught them. The one thing that I'm actually worried about, I am worried about you, for God's sake. That's the first, I guess. The one thing that I'm worried about Liverpool is the pressure that you are going to give into, or easy balls that you gave away, and led you sort of to concede one before you score.
Yeah,
that would be a disaster. I think that if the panic sets in the Liverpool side, I think Galatasaray will take advantage and score another one as well, because they are good at the counter, and the front 3 we were talking about, they look strong, and they look strong physically, and they look strong tactically as well. Sara has been called to the Brazil national team for the first time in his life. So he's doing really well in the midfield.
To be fair, it wasn't the midfield last time. We just could not, Liverpool could not keep up with, their front 3. Lang had a great time. Obviously, Barish always has gives a big battle, and then you have Osimhen in the middle. So, and most teams like playing those long balls that somebody's going to battle with Osimhen, the ball is going to fall in front of a winger, and there they go, because they have so much speed too. I am worried about this one, and I don't know. We were talking about this yesterday, both in the morning and at night on American Scouser, where I don't know if Sunday's results helps Wednesday or hurts Wednesday, because in some ways you could go out there and get maybe a 3-1 win or 4-1 win against Spurs and go into this game a bit more confidence. But I don't know if that would hurt you against Galatasaray, whereas you're going in there with frustration now and trying to make something right. But then again, I've had this hope for Liverpool every 3 weeks or something. When we get a pool result, they're going to bounce back. We'll see if they bounce back or not. That's kind of a interesting game tomorrow. I know Champions League is going on right now, and that's a shocker in some ways, because it felt and it will be interesting to see what happens in the other games now, because after the first games, Bodo Glimt and their turf field looked like they were going through, but now they are down 4-0 against Sporting away. So I don't know if they recover from that. But real quick, before I do want to get to a couple of miscellaneous topics.
That's called probably you are familiar with this as a Nazar, isn't it? Everybody's been talking about them. The evil eye.
Evil eye, yes. The evil eye
with Bodo. Look at Bodo. Well, look at them now.
Honestly, I don't know how much of that. I kind of watched a lot of that first match, and it wasn't like a 3-0 match. This actually reminds me more of, it's not that Sporting had some chances as well, reminds me of the Liverpool Barcelona thing. Like they lost
Uh,
3-0 away, but that game had no business being a 3-0. Liverpool by far was the better team. And I think, I just did not think they would be able to come back from 4-0. Bodo Glimt will get something on the counter. It gives us hope for tomorrow. And it will be interesting to see if like Chelsea and City are watching that match or hearing the score and be like, we can do it too, kind of
yeah,
a thing, because they're about to start in a little bit. Speaking of Arsenal and City and Chelsea and stuff, I do want to get a couple of topics, both with Chelsea actually. But title race pretty much done now.
still
With
Arsenal. I've been saying for a long time now.
I think it looked like at one point that they could stumble. They opened the
Yeah,
door, nobody just ran through.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they tried. Arteta tried one last time, but I think City is not as strong, and they lost way too many points now to recover. I think.
I think so too. I mean, this one was, it felt like, I mean, they do play each other. I realize that, but it did feel like a nail in the coffin when you can't beat West Ham, which, all those teams gets valuable points in the relegation race meanwhile. But that can go anyway. And there's some big games coming up this week over here in that battle. So we'll get to that. So, okay, here we go. A couple of topics that I do want to address over here. Let's start with this over here. Well, let's start with this over here. Chelsea handed suspended transfer ban, 10 million fine. They can't sign. Yes, basically a slap on the wrists. And here is my thing, and this is what I don't like about this. And it's grumpy old man time over here. But this is what I don't like about where the sport is going. We're doing the exact same shit with City right now.
Yeah,
In 10 years, it's going to be like, that was like 20 years ago. No one cares now. Just give him a fine for like 5 points. It's only 115 allegations, kind of a thing. And
yeah,
what sucks is, yeah, this is old. Why does it take so long to do these? Don't tell me Premier League doesn't have the money to be able to monitor what every transfer move is being done and how it's being done as they are being done. So we
yeah,
don't have this case, because I honestly don't even give a damn if they come back on City now and take like 60 points away. I don't even care if they take the titles away from them and give them to Liverpool. Those moments are already stolen from us as fans.
yeah.
So waiting this long to punish is like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's like an Arsenal fan in the corner giggling or some shit, but what does it do otherwise? Like nothing. It just makes more of a joke of the system than anything else.
Yeah, I agree. But
I joined the
it's
grumpy old man crew. Yes.
yeah, exactly. It's just all grumpy old man talk at this point, because we know this is going to keep happening. Uh, but this is the verdict, yeah. And I think they will be sort of objecting to it, and maybe bring it down a little, and sort of take the gas from some of the people who know, oh, how are they not punished here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe more Arabic capital is needed to avoid punishment, or I don't know. I mean, it's we know it is not just
Yes.
it's like going through the motions, and the committees there, or whoever who are actually earning a lot of thousands of pounds in the UK, their way of saying, yeah, we are here, we are doing something about it,
Yeah.
because if they did nothing, then we don't need them, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Premier League doesn't need them. So I think that they're trying to justify, and whoever is not uh, paying them enough, it looks like
Yeah.
is getting the punishment. I'm not trusting one bit to any judiciary system involving this football world, including the FIFA and UEFA. I mean, if so many people and the states that sort of finance this at some points to use this to control their uh, people,
Yeah.
uh, actually looked into, FIFA wouldn't be there anymore. If this wasn't a so popular a sport, the amount of scandals
Yeah.
I mean, not only this, like a transfer ban, really scandalous decisions about the World Cups and a lot of things that has been written about time and time again, but no action has been taken. This capital that's coming into the Premier League, how is that spent? What are really the rules? Arsene Wenger has been had talked about them for
Yeah.
ages. When City was first becoming like the Arabic city that it
Yeah.
is, and now here we are because that was going to happen all the time, and that's the grumpy old man talk.
It is grumpy old man talk, but it's just, I mean, I guess when everybody is an addict, I can tell you, it's like a drug addict. I can tell you it's not good for you, but what are you gonna do? Kind of a deal, or like a
Exactly.
smoker, like smoking is not good for you. I know, but and so it's one of those deals, and the way they're, at least let's just not pretend. Like, can we just not pretend that's what kills me is, basically the Premier League has put a sleepy old guard in the entrance of the transfer building, but all the windows are open, the back door is open, so they're like, no, 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 we are trying to secure this place over here, but loopholes everywhere that you see people jumping in through the windows, but you're like, yeah, what are you gonna do? We'll fix that in like a decade or so. And I think the late punishments, I'd rather not have a punishment. I think this is, and the ban is suspended over 2 years so they can still do senior players. It's not even a punishment. It's just a slap on the wrist. And I don't get, because now they're probably playing this was doing like Abramovich time. So it's like a different ordeal kind of a thing. Doesn't matter. It's the same freaking club. And they're going to do the same shit with City. They're going to be like, oh, somebody else was in charge at the time. And it's not going to matter. And like I say, even if they did punish it, if it's this late, like late justice is not justice, and especially when the justice is like this, it is. Yeah, it's kind of like more annoyed me when I saw it. Especially first, I was like, oh, somebody got freaking suspended or fined even before City, kind of a deal. That was the comedy. Then I read what the punishment is. I mean, is that even really like a punishment? It is just like ridiculous. It's like, telling your kid they can't have their phone for like between like 10 and 10:05. That will teach them. Afterwards, they're gonna have it again. So what the hell is the deal? It just makes zero sense.
I think it becomes easier because it's Abramovich's time. He's Russian, isn't he? So
okay, here's another one over here. Again, we're going with a lot of like Chelsea talk. I honestly, and I was like talking about this when in our like morning show as well. When I first saw this, I literally thought it was photoshopped. And I thought, that somebody's making a meme about how how Tierney kind of was part of their team, was like the 12th man kind of a deal. Then I find out it's actually true. This actually did happen.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. I mean, we were talking about Mateus yesterday, the American Scouser, and he said like it's a battle of like pettiness where Tierney won't move, and these guys are like, "You're not gonna move, then we're gonna huddle here." It's like, what are you guys doing? I know you hadn't heard of it, but I sent it to you. Like, what was your first thing when you saw the picture?
My first reaction was the Photoshop thing or AI thing or whatever. But the second thing, I read the article. They said, the Chelsea players said, they have decided to huddle in the center.
Yeah, around the ball.
Around the ball. So the referee just happened to be there. So we couldn't ask him to, can you just move a couple of feet?
Yeah, I mean,
or the referee didn't blow. What the hell are you doing, babe?
He's like, excuse me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could crawl back from underneath their legs or something like that. That is ridiculous.
And the funny thing is, their manager initially said, I hear now, like in the Champions League pre-match press conference, he kind of like backed away from them because I think somebody told him how freaking ridiculous it was that they were going to complain about that the referee should have moved. I mean, it's almost like they just go around them and they're like, come on and bring it in. And they're just like huddle over there. I mean, they could have huddled 3 feet away. And in all fairness, Paul Tierney could have seen that that's what they were doing. and you'll be like, okay, let me take a couple of steps. I mean, he only needs to take like 3 steps back, to be fair, to be
Yeah,
out
I
of that
know.
circle.
That is ridiculous. I mean, that is ridiculous.
For this to have actually happened and him being part of the talk, like, how does he not stop it and say, what the hell are you guys doing? Blow the whistle and say,
That is simply low IQ. That's it. That is low IQ, low EQ. Well, I mean, he should have thought this is going to look ridiculous. Or maybe he trusted that, well, people won't believe it anyway. They will say just it's AI, so I'll get by this. This is ridiculous. I mean, I think all involved. Yeah, I mean, players could do something like that, but Tierney letting this happen, I'm not sure. I mean, if he is so much affected and cannot say anything to the players, like, "Can you move 2 feet, please?" How is he deciding and saying that's a foul? No,
yeah,
like their
no,
discipline. Like,
I don't want to
no,
really like, I don't want to create any controversy.
yeah, bring it on. Yeah, if you say it's not a foul, it's not a foul.
Yeah, it's shocking. Like, literally, if I didn't see the articles and stuff, I could have seen 10 of those images and I would have given it to Photoshop AI, like you said. I mean, it's
Yeah.
literally, I thought it was like, oh, he was their 12th man today and stuff. And I was like, didn't they lose points? So he didn't do that good of a job, kind of a deal. But let's take a look at the scores real quick, because I do want to, I guess we have to show the scores so you can gloat about
Yeah,
your.
you have to show the scores, and you have to tell the audience where are we with our upsets.
We're tied, and this just shows your
Hardly, yeah.
pathetic states that you're happy about a draw, by the way. But never mind, we'll just clear
4-0.
over it.
4-0
What were
this
your upset picks, by the way? So we can kind of like cover those. But
Newcastle.
Newcastle one was one. I had Everton, and I got close. To be fair, that was going like really a poor mistake to let that goal in. I figured they would give him a hard time and get something out of that, but obviously they do not. And
I
then who else did you have?
actually went for City, and you told me, "Are you going to take City 2 weeks in a row?" I said, "Okay, you might be right." And then I took Leeds, which worked.
Oh, that's
anyway.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would have gotten either way. I guess my swaying powers are not. United 3, Villa 1. That was another one I had, and I can't remember my. Yeah, those were my two. And then you had like Leeds. Forest gets a point from Fulham. I really thought Forest would win that, actually, when we were talking
Yeah.
about what the upset would be in that one. And Wolves get a point again. But I think the dream is over, right?
I'm so sorry. Yeah, exactly. The team's over.
Okay, so it is time now for the new one. So now we are tied. If you are kind of like new to the scheme over here, what we do is we take two, we go basketball. I take a 3-pointer, he takes a 3-pointer, then we take free throws with our upset picks. And based on who gets it, we'll see who wins what at the end of the season. There's probably not going to be anything. The budget is very limited. Okay,
Well,
here we go.
we'll see about that.
Or more like the budget is non-existent. Let's go that way. Okay, here are the games for the week. Bournemouth United, Brighton Liverpool, Fulham Burnley, City Palace, Everton Chelsea, Leeds Brentford, Newcastle Sunderland, Villa West Ham, Tottenham Forest. What a big game that is.
Well, that is a big game. Newcastle Sunderland, that's a Tyneware derby. That is a good game.
Okay, I'm taking the 3-pointer first this time, so that we take turns in this, for God's sakes. And I need to catch up. I need to take the lead.
Come on. Well, okay,
I'm taking Everton against Chelsea.
Really?
Yeah.
Again?
What do you mean again?
You took Everton and failed.
Yeah,
last time.
about time they pay off. I mean, at home against Chelsea, who are playing right now, and I expect them to get some disappointments. And yes, I am right, because PSG is already up.
A point to Everton, at least.
At least, correct. Yes.
Okay, I think that's not even a 3-pointer, to be honest. But anyway, I'll give you that. I'll go with West Ham.
West Ham getting something out of Villa.
Oh yeah.
Okay, anything is gonna count as a 3-point.
Yeah, that looks almost locked. To be honest, I can't see Villa
So are we
winning.
even touching the Spurs Forest game, or is that like a battle of crap, which kind of was what the Liverpool Spurs game looked like, sadly?
I'm definitely going to watch that crap
Yeah, I think so
because
too.
that will be. I don't think what will be an upset. To be honest,
You're right.
Forest.
Like it's kind of like a pick 'em kind of a game. Anything can
Yeah,
happen on that one.
yeah,
It screams a draw because I feel like it will be a cagey one. We expect it to be fun, but I think in some ways it'll be very cagey because nobody will want to give because it's almost like a 6 point game, right? Nobody's gonna want to give that
yeah,
away. So I think it's gonna be a set piece goal or something, which really suits Forest more than Spurs if it's a cagey matchup over there. But depends on who they have back by then as well.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
That's Vitor's game. I'm expecting they're going to get something out definitely. I'm thinking about your game to for my one pointer. To be honest,
Brighton getting a win or getting something.
something.
You know what? Two can't play that game then. Then I'll take Bournemouth.
Really? Okay.
Bournemouth at home. I think that's one of the. That's like a challenging game. I think to see where United is at. I know
Yeah, it will
Bournemouth
be.
is not the or like the Bournemouth in the early part of the season, but it's a tough
Yeah,
place
because
to go to.
they took away their star player.
Yeah.
This is the old grumpy
Here
old
we
man.
go. The old grumpy man comes out
Well, not
again. Go
going
ahead.
anywhere. Yeah, I mean, they were a decent side until they decided, let's pick this one up.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, okay. Bournemouth, and I got Brighton. I hope Ferdi scores.
Yeah, Ferdi in action. And then we're going into the international break. We'll continue doing our shows in the international break. Obviously, we'll do the recap. And I think there's like a lot of like miscellaneous topics to address as well. I know the boys touch up on some of them as well on Thursday. Do tune in tomorrow night, by the way. The boys, Gary and Chris, will be back covering a World Cup. And then on Thursday nights, obviously, they're here for the Premier League preview show. If you're watching us, please hit the like. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're continuing to go with, and during the international break, we're hoping to add like a bunch of stuff and kind of like advance a bit more. We're bringing TikTok, so get ready to dance because that's the only way we're gonna increase followers over there, I think. But that'll be it for us this week. Hopefully, I'll be in a better mood next week. Liverpool will have one, and Bournemouth will have one as well, and we'll be all happy again. More importantly, honestly, I don't even care about that as much. I do, but I don't. I just don't want to get eliminated to Galatasaray. That will hurt like 5 or 10 fold or something to as opposed to Atletico Madrid or something like that. It will be frustration, but this will hurt. It won't be just frustration. It
Yeah,
will
I
hurt.
count on you guys.
This is a rare chance to watch
Yeah,
Edip root for Liverpool.
yeah.
So, and
Very
probably
rare.
that's why we're not going to make it, is my fear, but that's a different story. But have a great week, everybody. We'll be here. I would say same time, but it's not the same time. Tuesday nights, do tune in for the show again. As always, you want to join the channel, send us a message, represent your club. We'll talk EPL, anything and everything. And obviously, the World Cup is approaching, and we already have the World Cup show as well. So, have an awesome, awesome week. We'll see you guys next week.